Chapter 81 First Visit to the Governor of Xiangjiang. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Kayla took the Huifeng Bank check that Yang Ming gave her, and she didn't refuse. That night, since it was too late, Kayla stayed in the guest room on the third floor, have a night's rest. Early the next day, Yang Ming washed his face, changed his clothes, and came downstairs under the service of Azu and Zhong Chuhong. First, he basked in the sun in the garden. With the support of the two women, he slowly started to walk. He didn't walk very far. He could indeed walk like a normal person. When Kayla came down, it was already past 7 in the morning. Yang Ming, Kayla, and Yang Jirong had breakfast together. After breakfast, Lin Dezhong came over and said, "Young Master Yang, the gifts for visiting Governor Malihao and his wife are ready. We'll go to the federal building first, and then we'll go to the governor's mansion." Yang Ming got into the car. First come to the Federal Building Empire Group. After he distributed the global stock information to those responsible, he took Lin Shoji with him. Lin Shoji is Yang Ming's assistant secretary. If she needs to contact the governor's mansion for anything in the future, Lin Shoji is also a candidate. Take her there now to show her face. Lin Shoji was a little excited and a little surprised. She didn't expect that her boss would take her to the governor's mansion to meet the Malihao couple. "Boss, I'm not ready yet," Lin Shoji said nervously. "What are you going to prepare?" But when Lin Shoji heard this, she didn't react like before. Sitting in Yang Ming's Rolls-Royce, I quickly felt at ease. Exit from the underground parking lot of the Federation Building and go to Albert Road, located mid-level in Central. In his previous life, Yang Ming passed by the governor's mansion. At that time, it was no longer called the governor's mansion, but the Protocol Mansion. The governor's palace is a Georgian-era building with a strong colonial flavor. When Chen Zhenhua's Rolls-Royce had just parked outside the gate of the governor's palace, soon, the guards here came out and looked at Ah-san. When the guards saw Mr. Yang, the guards remained polite. Who in Xiangjiang doesn't know Mr. Yang, the boss of Empire Group? "Hello, Mr. Yang." The white man in charge of the chief of security at the governor's palace came over to say hello. "Hello. I was invited to visit Governor Malihao and his wife." The white guard captain went inside to report. Governor Malihao, Mrs. Malihao, and Malihao's secretary came out to greet them. When they first saw Yang Ming getting out of the Rolls-Royce and sitting in a wheelchair, the Malihao couple were surprised. Such a person, not only young, but also sitting in a wheelchair, also happened to acquire two of the largest British-owned foreign companies. Malihao and his wife did not dare to underestimate Yang Ming and walked up quickly. "Welcome Mr. Yang," Malihao said. "Mr. Governor, Madam Governor, hello everyone." Yang Ming shook hands with them respectively. Lin Shoji pushed Yang Ming inside, and Lin Dezhong handed the gift he had prepared to the steward of the governor's mansion. "I have to say that the environment here at the governor's mansion is very good. Located in the most prosperous place in central district of Xiangjiang, the environment here is very elegant and quiet. Today, this is the official residence of the governor and his wife, who live here all year round and also work here. In addition to the security personnel outside, Yang Ming noticed that the people in charge of the security were basically white people. In addition, there were also ordinary security personnel, who should be red-headed men brought by the Y country people from India. 3. The Malihao couple chatted with Yang Ming from time to time. This is the first time Yang Ming has chatted with Governor Malihao since he came to this era. Malihao is not only the current leader of the Governor General's office in Hong Kong, but also represents Great Britain and the Queen. When they entered the living room, Yang Ming and Malihao sat on one side and started talking about their respective identities. At this time, Yang Ming was not only the chairman of the Empire Group, but also the chief executive of Wharf and Hutchison Whampoa. His identity and status were completely different, and it also involved the employment, benefits, and salary of hundreds of thousands of employees in Xiangjiang. It can be said that if you stamp your feet, Hong Kong will shake. The conversation between the two parties now is going to be published in newspapers and on TV. After finishing the business chat, before lunchtime, Malihao chatted with Yang Ming alone in the study for half an hour. When the two came out of the study, lunch was held in the government house dining room. They are all Western food, which may not be as delicious as Yang's food. Now Yang Ming, Lin Shoji, Lin Guanjia, Mr. and Mrs. Malihao had dinner with their secretary. Wait until lunch is over. Yang Ming's first official visit to the governor's mansion, the Malihao couple, was considered over. Mr. Yang, meet more often when you have time. Maleheo said. Must. When the Maleheo couple personally sent Yang Ming out in a wheelchair, Yang Ming, Lin Shoji, and Lin Dezhong got into the car. When he was in the car, Yang Ming knew that the governor who had served as the governor of Xiangjiang from 1971 to the present and who established ICAC during his tenure was certainly not simple. Maleheo was one of the most capable governors of Xiangjiang in history, however. According to history, if nothing unexpected happens, the other party will leave office in 4 years. Even then, there are still 4 years left, which means that during this time, Yang Ming will still have to deal with the other party. Yang Ming knew that Maleheo represented Great Britain, the Queen, and the cabinet in Xiangjiang. As Kayla said, if Yang Ming wants to go further in his business empire, you must deal with Maleheo. Lin Shoji, how did you feel just now? Boss, I always felt that the governor's mansion was very mysterious in the past. After coming here today, I found that it is just like that. That's true. If it weren't for the special status given to the governor's palace, it would actually be just an English-style manor. Boss, should we go back to the company directly? No, go back to Repulse Bay Villa. Chen Zhenhua drove away from here and headed towards the Repulse Bay Villa. 3 p.m., Yang Ming still had to meet Shenbai. Last night, he had made an agreement with Kira. As for Lin Shoji, she will definitely have to take her with her when the time comes. When the Rolls-Royce pulls up to Repulse Bay Villas, Yang Ming got out of the car, and Li Yufang, Azu, and Zhong Chuhong had already come out. Peter, how was it going to the governor's mansion today? Li Yufang asked curiously. Mommy, that's it. Even Li Yufang found the governor's mansion so mysterious, let alone other ordinary people. Mommy, Maliho and his wife and I have had lunch just now, so we won't have lunch. 2:30 in the afternoon, Yang Ming is in his study. Lin Dezhong came up and said, Mr. Yang, Miss Kayla is here. Yang Ming looked at the wall clock in the study room and guessed that Mr. Shen was already waiting for him. Yang Ming came down from upstairs in a wheelchair. I saw Kayla and a red BMW. Kira, how about this Bayer? At this time, the BMW in Xiangjiang was not called BMW, but Bayer. Mr. Yang, this car is much easier to drive than that MG sedan. Mr. Shen is already waiting for you at a pier in Repulse Bay. Let's go there. Yang Ming couldn't let Shenbai wait there for too long, so he took Lin Shoji with him, got into the Rolls-Royce, and took the car to a pier in Repulse Bay. When Yang Ming got off the car and came to the dock in a wheelchair, he already saw Shenbai. Please read it. Chapter 82 Yang Ming wants 20 shares of Huifeng Bank. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 82 Yang Ming wants 20% of Huifeng Bank shares. Every time he saw Yang Ming in a wheelchair, Shenbai not only felt a sense of compassion, but also quickly understood that Yang Ming was able to swallow up Wharf and Hutchison Whampoa in a short period of time. This was not an ordinary person. Shen Yi has already walked over. Mr. Yang, good afternoon. Mr. Shen, good afternoon. Yang Ming boarded the luxury yacht prepared by Shenbai in advance. Now Lin Shoji, Kayla, Chen Zhenhua and others also followed. When the luxury yacht left the Repulse Bay Pier, it headed out to the sea. The sea breeze is not very strong now, and after the temperature in Xiangjiang warms up, it is quite comfortable to go out and enjoy the sea breeze in the afternoon. Mr. Yang, Kayla, Secretary Lin, have a drink. There is everything to eat, drink and have fun on this luxury yacht. Includes red wine. After a bottle of rich and fragrant Bordeaux red wine was opened, Yang Ming, Kayla, Shenbai, and Lin Shoji each picked up the glass of red wine and drank half of it. Shenbai looked at the extremely young Yang Ming in front of him. He knew that if the gift from Yang Ming had not moved his heart, he would not have sold Hutchison International's shares to Yang Ming. It can be said that on that torturous night on the first day of the new year, he thought about it all night long. In the final analysis, it is because Yang Ming can bring greater benefits to Huifeng Bank. Mr. Yang, I want to talk to you alone. Can. Lin Shoji pushed Yang Ming out to the deck of the luxury yacht. Yang Ming and Shenbai are here now. Shenbai said directly, Mr. Yang, we at Huifeng Bank want to cooperate with your Imperial group. Mr. Shen, haven't we already cooperated? Yang Ming was talking about Huifeng Bank's sale of Hutchison International shares to Imperial Group. Shen Yi said, Mr. Yang, we are very interested in the fact that you and Imperial Group's short-term investment return rate in the stock market is nearly 100%. Really, it's time to come. Although Yang Ming has guessed many times, at first, Yang Ming thought that Shen Yi would use this as one of the conditions for negotiating Hutchison Whampoa shares. In the end, Shen Yi did not. That's right. I think our Huifeng Bank can allocate a sum of funds to the Imperial Group for stock market investment and operations. After the profits are made, we will share them in proportion. What Shenbai meant was that Huifeng Bank used money to trade stocks for the Imperial Group, and the money earned from stock trading would be divided between the two parties in proportion. If it were anyone else, of course they would. However, Yang Ming is different. Now that he has huge funds himself, he can let the Imperial Group make money in the stock market, so why should he share the money with Huifeng Bank? This makes no sense at all. Mr. Shen, you said that you would give funds to the Imperial Group for stock trading, and then the profits would be divided according to proportion. In fact, according to the current situation of the Imperial Group, we are not short of funds. Yes. Yang Ming and the Imperial Group are not short of money at all. Just like when Yang Ming acquired shares in Wharf or Hutchison Whampoa, he didn't need to borrow money from others at all. Shenbai was startled for a moment and then quickly reacted. Mr. Yang, put forward your conditions, whether it is funds or profit sharing, we can negotiate. Let's talk about funds. No one would object to getting more money, because the more money you have, the more you can do. Huifeng Bank, as the largest foreign bank in Hong Kong, controls the deposits of most citizens. How could Huifeng Bank not have huge funds? Historically, many wealthy Chinese people in Hong Kong, including Li Jiaqing, Bao Yugang, etc., all developed with the support of Huifeng Bank's huge funds. As for profit, the money Yang Ming earned from the stock market with the funds from Huifeng Bank was considered profit. According to Shenbai's idea, whether the profit was 50 to 50 cents or 40 to 60 cents, he felt that it could be negotiated. After all, the rate of return on Yang Ming's investment in the stock market is too attractive. Mr. Shen, I'm afraid this is impossible. Even if I agree, the management of Imperial Group will not agree. No one is that stupid. When you can obviously make a lot of money, you still want to share the money with others? Is it possible? Shenbai knew that Yang Ming was an old fox. In Xiangjiang, neither British nor Chinese investors dared to raise conditions in front of him. However, Yang Ming dared. That's because Yang Ming never thought about relying on others. Mr. Yang, you better put forward your conditions. Shenbai also knew that Yang Ming would never agree to cooperate with Huifeng Bank in the stock market so easily. Mr. Shen, I want at least 20% of Huifeng Bank's shares. What? Yang Ming wants 20% of Huifeng Bank shares. Shenbai was a little surprised. If other people heard it, they would think that Yang Ming was talking loudly. Both Yang Ming and Shenbai knew it. Huifeng Bank's situation is different from other banks. Huifeng Bank's equity and management rights are separate. Like this time, Shenbai sold all the Hutchison International shares held by Huifeng Bank to the Imperial Group. It was Shenbai, the top management officer, who made the decision alone. Major shareholders like Bao Yugang have no right to interfere at all. The most they can do is accept this matter. If Yang Ming wants to take 20% of Huifeng Bank's shares now, it means that the original shareholders of Huifeng Bank will have to dilute 20% of their shares and sell them to Yang Ming. Shenbai didn't make a sound. For example, the sale of equity in Huifeng Bank involves the interests of other shareholders, and I am afraid that he alone cannot make the decision. Mr. Yang, you should know that Huifeng Bank's management system is different from other companies. Even if you own 20% of the shares, you cannot interfere in Huifeng Bank's affairs. Shenbai reminded. In fact, according to Shenbai's idea, he wanted to negotiate a share of profits. For example, Huifeng Bank handed over a sum of funds to the Imperial Group for management. The Imperial Group earned 1 billion Hong Kong dollars from the stock market. This billion is also the profit. According to the ratio, it is 50/50. Huifeng Bank takes 500 million, and the Imperial Group take 500 million Hong Kong dollars. Now Yang Ming has not mentioned the profit ratio at all. Yang Ming must get the shares of Huifeng Bank. Shenbai might as well not talk to him, then there would be no next step in stock market cooperation. Mr. Shen, I understand. However, I still need to get at least 20% of the shares of Huifeng Bank before we can continue the discussion. Think about it, for example, if Huifeng Bank gives me 10 billion Hong Kong dollars in investment, 1 year with a profit of 1 billion Hong Kong dollars, wouldn't this double Huifeng Bank's profits? When I thought about it, no other shareholder could refuse. Double profits? Shenbai was also surprised. According to Yang Ming, an investment of 10 billion Hong Kong dollars can generate a profit of 1 billion Hong Kong dollars a year, which is equivalent to a return rate of 10 points. This is equivalent to a very high rate of return for finance. Mr. Yang, let me think about it first. No problem. Yang Ming said no more. When Yang Ming and Shenbai got off the deck of the luxury yacht, the two of them sat on the luxury yacht and continued to drink and eat, went around in the nearby open sea. The time came to 17:30 in the afternoon. Take the yacht back to Repulse Bay Pier, please read it. Chapter 84. Ma Shimin personally visits Yang Ming. You are listening at novelfull.audio. February 10, 1978, Friday, the 4th day of the Lunar New Year. After Yang Ming got up, he washed his face and changed clothes under the service of Azu and Zhong Chuhong. Take the elevator down, bask in the sun in the garden, look at the mountain scenery in the distance, and have breakfast with Yang Jirong and his wife. After breakfast, Yang Ming took the car to the Federal Building. When Yang Ming came to the office of the chairman of Imperial Group in a wheelchair, Lin Shoji quickly made Yang Ming a cup of coffee. Yang Ming looked away from the window and took a sip of the coffee made by Lin Shoji. After Yang Ming distributed the global stock information to those responsible, Yang Ming started his new plan. Not surprisingly, Shenbai will definitely agree to cooperate with Huifeng Bank, and there is no chance that he will refuse. This means that Yang Ming will need to send someone to negotiate with Huifeng Bank. In addition to the prerequisites, Yang Ming needs to get 20% of the shares of Huifeng Bank. As for these shares, whether Huifeng Bank will give it to him or whether the Imperial Group will spend money to buy these shares needs to be discussed. The premise is that 20% of the shares of Huifeng Bank must be obtained. As for who will be sent to talk to Huifeng Bank, Yang Ming looked at Lin Shoji on the side, fearing that Lin Shoji and Tang Shilian alone might not be able to do it. It would be great if MaleProtagonist was still in Xiangjiang. I wonder what happened now that MaleProtagonist went to Nanyang Siam to acquire the ownership of Red Bull Beverage. Noon, Yang Ming finished lunch in the company canteen. 17:30 p.m. Yang Ming no longer stayed in the Imperial Group. Chen Zhenhua pushed Yang Ming away from here, got into the Rolls-Royce, and took the car back to the Repulse Bay mid-level villa. When Yang Ming's Rolls-Royce parked in the yard of the mid-level villa, Yang Ming got out of the car. Butler Lin Dezhong has come out. Mr. Yang, there is a guest at home. He said he was recommended by Miss Kayla. Miss Kira recommended it. Who? He said his name was Simon Murray, and his Chinese name was Ma Shimin. Ma Shimin? Yang Ming was really surprised when he heard this name. If MaleProtagonist is Li Jiaqing's right-hand man, then Ma Shimin's status in Li Jiaqing's mind is not bad at all. From Yang Ming's study of Xiangjiang's economy in his previous life, he knew that Ma Shimin was a very important executive in the Li Jiaqing Changsha Group. In history, in 1984, after the financial company founded by Ma Shimin in Singapore was acquired by Li Jiaqing, Ma Shimin served as the general manager of Hutchison Whampoa, which was Hutchison Whampoa's chief executive. Although in 1993, Ma Shimin resigned from Hutchison Whampoa due to various reasons, and his position was replaced by Hui Jianing. During his time at Li Jiaqing's group, Ma Shimin facilitated Hutchison Whampoa's acquisition of Xiangjiang Electric and Canadian Husky Petroleum business. He also led Hutchison Whampoa to enter the mobile communications business, which indirectly contributed to the sale of European Mobile for more than 100 billion Hong Kong dollars during the dot-com boom in 2000. Communication brand Orange's deal of the century. In other words, this person is still very capable. To Yang Ming's surprise, hadn't Li Jiaqing been poaching Ma Shimin? Now Ma Shimin actually came to visit him in person. Could it be that Kira already knew Ma Shimin? Where is he? Master Yang, he is in the garden. When Lin Dezhong pushed Yang Ming to the garden, he saw Ma Shimin admiring the flowers in the garden. Ma Shimin was born in 1940, so he is still 38 years old, still very young. Mr. Ma, our young master is back. Ma Shimin turned around and saw the young man sitting in a wheelchair. the man in front of him was undoubtedly Mr. Yang, the boss of the Empire Group, the young man who had successively swallowed up Wharf and Hutchison Whampoa. Ma Shimin was really surprised when he saw Yang Ming sitting in a wheelchair for the first time. "Hello, Mr. Yang, I've taken the liberty to come and visit you. Mr. Ma, since you are Miss Kayla's friend, of course it is not presumptuous to come here." Yang Ming and Ma Shimin shook hands. The two of them sat there separately. Yang Ming has done some research on Ma Shimin. In fact, it can be said that this person's life experience is very exciting, even somewhat similar to Yang Ming's previous life. Ma Shimin is not an orphan. He has relatives. Even if his family is in trouble, they are still middle class and can support him to travel around the world. In addition, Yang Ming knew that Ma Shimin had been a mercenary and a crew member. From Yang Ming's past life experience, he really understands this kind of person's character. He knows that this kind of person likes excitement the most, and Ma Shimin was able to stay at Iha Matheson for 14 years and at Changchun Industrial Group for 9 years. This is enough to show that he is still very different from ordinary people. Ma Shimin was looking at Yang Ming. Yang Ming was also looking at Ma Shimin. Yang Ming already knew that since Ma Shimin was recommended by Kayla, Kayla must recognize that Ma Shimin is very capable. Kayla and Ma Shimin must not know that Yang Ming, a man whose soul comes from the future, may know the current Ma Shimin better than Kayla. The two parties did not talk about business at first, but talked about various things. Yang Ming's previous life experience was really exciting. To Ma Shimin's surprise, he originally thought that Yang Ming was a rich second generation. Who would have thought that what Yang Ming said now was even more complicated than he imagined? This young man seems to be particularly familiar with his experience and understands it very well. If you work under Yang Ming and your talents can be brought into full play, you must get Yang Ming's 100% support. Judging from Yang Ming's current situation, he is very supportive of his previous experiences. "Mr. Yang, your body." External media only reported that Yang Ming was in a wheelchair, but they did not know why he was in a wheelchair. 3 years ago, when I came back from London, I was in a car accident and was in a coma for 3 years. I haven't recovered yet. So that's it. Lin Dezhong on the side was very surprised. Isn't this the first time Yang Xiao and Ma Shimin met? Why do these two people look more familiar than themselves and young Master Yang? Lin Dezhong really couldn't understand. Yang Ming even knew that Ma Shimin's biggest hobby was drinking. Ma Shimin drinks, but he never makes mistakes. "Mr. Yang, actually Miss Kayla recommended the Imperial Group and you to me, so I came to visit you. Mr. Ma, Miss Kayla is still from Huifeng Bank. However, she has helped me a lot. Since Miss Kayla recommended you, of course she highly recognizes your ability." Yang Ming is very curious about why Li Jiaqing has been poaching Ma Shimin, but Ma Shimin is not willing to join Changchun Industrial Group. Historically, Ma Shimin finally agreed to join Changchun Industrial Group after Li Jiaqing acquired the other party's company, which was equivalent to giving the other party a sum of money. From what I just learned from Mr. Yang, I like a boss like Mr. Yang. However, I have a few doubts. Mr. Ma, tell me. First, I am white and you are Chinese. Chinese companies in Xiangjiang generally rarely hire white executives. If I join your company, will you completely trust me? In fact, not only Ma Shimin has doubts about this, but also the white management of Wharf and Hutchison Whampoa now have great doubts and distrust of Yang Ming. Historically, even though Li Jiaqing has always used white people, in fact, he did not completely trust white people, so that many white executives of Hutchison Whampoa were forced to leave by Li Jiaqing. Mr. Ma, when my Empire Group was first established, there were only 15 employees, 10 of whom were white and 5 of whom were Chinese. These 15 people were all recommended to me by Miss Kayla. Please read it. Chapter 85 Ma Shimin joins the Imperial Group. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ma Shimin was really surprised. Yang Ming's Imperial Group seems very mysterious to the outside world. How Yang Ming and the Imperial Group got their wealth is not clear to the outside world. What Ma Shimin didn't expect was that among the 15 employees established by Yang Ming's Imperial Group, 10 of them were white. This is enough to show that Yang Ming trusts and values white people. If Yang Ming didn't trust white people, how could Yang Ming reuse him or follow his advice if he joined the Imperial Group? Mr. Yang, if I join the Imperial Group, what kind of position will I hold? And what are my salary and benefits? What kind of position does Ma Shimin hold? Historically, Ma Shimin served as the head coach of Hutchison Whampoa as soon as he joined Changchun Industrial Group, which fully illustrates Ma Shimin's ability. Today, at Hutchison Whampoa, Yang Ming does not plan to touch the management for the time being. Yang Ming is going to ask Ma Shimin to go to the Wharf to organize and reform the Wharf. As General Manager of Wharf. General Manager of Wharf? Ma Shimin was surprised and pleasantly surprised. As for salary and benefits, it is of course the highest income among professional managers in Hong Kong. Mr. Yang, do you really trust my ability? Good. Yang Ming may not believe others. Yang Ming certainly believed in Ma Shimin, a person who could stand the test of history. Boss, I am willing to join the Imperial Group. At this moment, Ma Shimin naturally did not hesitate any longer. Yang Ming smiled and said, I heard that Mr. Li has always wanted to poach you. Why are you unwilling to join Changchun Industrial Group? Li Jiaqing. Boss, I actually don't like Mr. Li. In addition, on the surface, he has always used white professional managers. In fact, I know that he is very wary of those white people. So that's it. Yang Ming finally understood why Ma Shimin had not joined Changchun Industrial Group for so many years after Li Jiaqing poached him. Historically, Li Jiaqing acquired large groups like Hutchison Whampoa and even acquired Ma Shimin's own company before Ma Shimin was willing to join. Now that there is no Hutchison Whampoa, there is a huge gap between Li Jiaqing and history in all aspects. Okay, I'm very happy to have you as a unique general today. Let's have a drink together after dinner. That night, Yang Ming, Ma Shimin, Yang Jirong, and Li Yufang had dinner together. What Yang Jirong didn't expect was that the white man in front of him had joined the Empire Group and was about to serve as the general manager of Wharf. Yang Jirong knew very well how much he weighed. If he were asked to be the general manager of any large subsidiary of the Wharf Group, he would not be able to do it himself. Yang Ming and Ma Shimin finished dinner. The two went down to the second floor of the basement, where they drank 2 more bottles of red wine. Before Ma Shimin left, Yang Ming told him. Shimin, on Monday, I will officially announce your position as the general manager of Wharf at the Empire Group. Yes, boss. When Ma Shimin was about to leave the mid-level villa in Repulse Bay, Yang Ming didn't want him to get into trouble when he drove back because Ma Shimin drank. Yang Ming directly asked Lin Dezhong to send someone to drive Ma Shimin back. After seeing Ma Shimin leaving in the car, Yang Ming was really happy. Ma Shimin doesn't like Li Jiaqing. In fact, Yang Ming didn't like it very much. What makes Yang Ming most happy is that Li and Ma Shimin, who were Li Jiaqing's right-hand men in their previous lives, have now joined the Imperial Group. This means that he, who originally lacked generals, now has 2 capable and trustworthy generals around him. Yang Ming's pressure suddenly eased a lot. When Ah Zhu and Zhong Chuhong pushed Yang Ming upstairs to the study, Ah Zhu asked strangely, Master, I think you seem to be very happy tonight. A little happy. Now there is one more general on his side, and one less general on Li Jiaqing's side. How could Yang Ming be unhappy? Tonight is Friday, tomorrow is Saturday and the day after tomorrow is Sunday. For the past 2 days, Yang Ming was preparing to rest at the mid-level villa in Repulse Bay. He was in the study. After drinking the hangover soup sent by Azu, Yang Ming picked up the landline phone and called Kira. Miss Kira, thank you for your gift. Mr. Yang, what gift? Kira asked strangely. In the afternoon, Ma Shimin came to visit me personally. Just now, I have convinced him to join the Imperial Group. On Monday, I will officially announce his position. Did Ma Shimin really go to see Yang Ming? Kira couldn't believe it. Mr. Yang, what are you going to ask Mr. Ma to do? The general manager of Wharf. Isn't that Wharf Taipan? Kira was surprised when she heard it. The status of Wharf's senior class is the same as that of Hutchison Whampoa's senior class. Ma Shimin had just joined the Imperial Group and served as Wharf's chief executive. For Ma Shimin, Yang Ming trusted him very much. No wonder Ma Shimin agreed to join the Imperial Group. Mr. Yang, don't you plan to let Mr. Ma start from another position? Will you elevate him too high? Kayla knew that Ma Shimin was capable, but Kayla was still a little surprised to suddenly become the boss of a foreign company with hundreds of thousands of employees. If Ma Shimin is incapable by then, wouldn't he have recommended the wrong person? No, I believe in Mr. Ma's ability and your vision. Hearing Yang Ming's words, Kayla was very happy. No matter what, Yang Ming just needs to believe in her vision. Mr. Yang, let me tell you something very important. This afternoon, Mr. Shen has quietly flown back to London. Did Shani fly back to London? Is it because of the cooperation with the Imperial Group? Yang Ming guessed it must be. If Shani wants to sell 20% of Huifeng Bank's shares to Yang Ming, he may need the support of the Queen, even the cabinet, as well as the London financial community and European Huifeng Bank shareholders. This news from Kayla is important. Yang Ming guessed that Shenbai would definitely not reject Yang Ming's first condition. In my expectation, Mr. Shen and Huifeng Bank will definitely agree to the conditions I proposed. Chatted with Kayla some more. After Yang Ming hung up the phone, Azu and Zhong Chuhong brought the newspapers, and Yang Ming said, I won't read the newspapers tonight. Yang Ming was sitting in the study, until about 10 o'clock. After Yang Ming's drunkenness disappeared, he went to take a comfortable warm bath under the service of Azu and Zhong Chuhong, changed into pajamas and returned to bed. You guys should go and rest too. After Azu and Zhong Chuhong went outside, Yang Ming quickly fell asleep. Have a night's rest. Early the next day, when Azu and Zhong Chuhong helped Yang Ming, who had just woken up, to wash his face, change into casual clothes, and go out to the yard to bask in the sun, it's not breakfast time yet, Lin Dezhong came in a hurry. Young Master Yang, this is an international long-distance call from Mr. Merlis in Bangkok, Siam. Transfer the call to the study upstairs. Please read it. Chapter 86 Acquiring Ownership of Red Bull. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Same day, Merlis flew non-stop from Xiangjiang to Bangkok. First, he investigated the situation of the Red Bull beverage market in Siam. Merlis did not expect that Red Bull was already available in Bangkok and even Siam. The market share is very small. Compared with drinks such as Coke, it is really far behind. It is not even as good as some local coconut water companies. Yang Ming asked him to spend 100 million Hong Kong dollars to buy the ownership of the Red Bull Beverage Company. His mission was to buy the ownership of the Red Bull Beverage Company. Merlis then used his network as the president of Wharf Company in Singapore and soon met Su Shubiao, the owner of Red Bull Beverage Company. Su Shubiao was born in a Chinese family living in Siam. At that time, the family made a living by raising ducks and selling fruits in Phuket province in northern Siam. The family was poor. When he grew up, Su Shubiao's first job was as a bus conductor. Later, he helped his brother's drugstore in Bangkok and worked as a salesman. In 1962, a pharmaceutical factory named TC Pharmaceutical Factory was established in the old town of Bangkok. In the 1970s, Su Shubiao's factory developed a nourishing drink containing water, sugar, caffeine, fiber, alcohol and vitamin B, named Red Bull. At that time, the target sales group of Red Bull was blue-collar workers, such as shift workers and truck drivers, helping them stay awake when working all night. However, Red Bull's sales in the local market are still not high. Su Shuxian is in his 50s and a typical Chinese businessman. When he learned that the former CEO of Wharf Company in Singapore, Mr. Merlis, was going to meet him, Su Shubiao also met with Mr. Merlis at a tea place in Bangkok. Su Shubiao knew about the Hu family Hubao company in Xinjiang. Mr. Merlis, didn't you know you were meeting me? Mr. Su, I'm here to acquire the ownership of the Red Bull beverage researched by your TC Pharmaceutical Factory. Red Bull beverage ownership? Su Shubiao was a little surprised. Now Red Bull is only popular in some cities in Siam and has a small market share. No one else had ever wanted to buy Red Bull before. Su Shubiao was indeed a little surprised when he saw that the white man in front of him, Merlis, wanted to acquire the ownership of Red Bull. Mr. Merlis, I don't want to sell Red Bull. 50 million Hong Kong dollars. Merlis said directly. Now 50 million Hong Kong dollars is really a lot, especially in 1978. Even the richest people in Nanyang might not be able to afford 50 million Hong Kong dollars. Historically, Red Bull's subsequent success was mainly due to Su Shubiao's willingness to give up ownership of Red Bull and work with Austrian tycoons to promote Red Bull to the global market. Before 1984, before Su Shubiao and the Austrian tycoon cooperated, the Su family simply did not have that much money to advertise Red Bull everywhere. so naturally they could not promote Red Bull. From this point of view, the Su family is actually equivalent to taking the formula of Red Bull. The formula was developed by his CT pharmaceutical factory, except that this formula is valuable, the others are not valuable at all. Yang Ming gave Merlis 100 million Hong Kong dollars to acquire the ownership of Red Bull. Merlis could not directly mention 100 million Hong Kong dollars, otherwise, it would make Su Shubiao feel that Red Bull might be more valuable. Looking at Su Shubiao's look, Merlis seemed to grit his teeth and said, "Mr. Su, the maximum is 60 million Hong Kong dollars. HKD 60 million is certainly more valuable." Su Shubiao still seemed unmoved. Red Bull first began to appear in the 1970s. However, the taste of Red Bull is not static. It has always changed, and the taste is also different. Even later, for example, Nanyang Red Bull, domestic Red Bull, and European and American Red Bull, not only the formula proportions were different, but even the prices were different. It has been researched for so many years but has not been popular, which shows that this drink was heavily influenced by advertising and marketing and channels before this. Now, Su Shubiao is certainly a little bit excited that Merlis has acquired the ownership of Red Bull at a high price of 60 Hong Kong dollars million. Su Shubiao still said, "Mr. Merlis, I'm sorry, I still don't want to sell Red Bull." "Mr. Su, why are you doing this? With these 60 million Hong Kong dollars, relying on your TC pharmaceutical factory, you can research more other beverages." When Su Shubiao heard what Merlis said, his eyes suddenly lit up. There seems to be something wrong somewhere. After all, the formula of Red Bull was not studied just because you wanted to. A recipe like this was purely accidental and cost a lot of manpower and material resources. At Su Shubiao's age, if he really gets these tens of millions of Hong Kong dollars, he can retire early and enjoy life. Merlis is still a very capable person. "Mr. Su, please think carefully first. Don't be in a hurry to reject me right away." After Merlis and Su Shubiao finished talking, leave immediately. When Su Shubiao returned home, he kept thinking about this matter over and over again. A beverage company that has not yet developed, even if it has the Red Bull formula, Su Shubiao really doesn't necessarily know that this Red Bull drink will become popular in the future. In fact, it was because Yang Ming came from the future that he knew that Red Bull was popular all over the world. People like Merlis don't understand why Yang Ming wanted to acquire such a beverage company at a high price. In 1978, 100 million Hong Kong dollars was a lot of money. Su Shubiao was wandering around and finally talked about it with his family. When the Su family learned that someone wanted to acquire the ownership of Red Bull beverage for 60 million Hong Kong dollars, the Su family was obviously very surprised. TC Pharmaceutical Factory was founded by Su Shubiao, and Su Shubiao's brothers and other family members also had some shares. If the ownership of Red Bull is sold, they can also get a share of the money. Su family, some people think it can be sold, some people think it shouldn't be sold. When it comes to interests, among the quarrels among the Su family, Su Shubiao felt that the price offered by Merlis was not too high. Su Shubiao felt that it was the Hu family of Wharf company who sent Merlis to acquire their ownership of Red Bull. If it is the Red Bull beverage company that Wharf company is interested in, can it be any worse? The next day, still at that tea place, Merlis met Su Shubiao again. At this time, Su Shubiao had not yet become a billionaire. How could he not be tempted by that huge sum of money? "Mr. Merlis, was it the Hu family's Wharf company that sent you to acquire the ownership of our Red Bull beverage company?" "No, I have resigned from Wharf company a long time ago and I am already developing in Xiangjiang." "The company over there in Xiangjiang?" No wonder Merlis talked to him about Hong Kong dollars, not Singapore dollars. "Mr. Su, let's do this. You sell me the RD personnel of Red Bull Beverage Company, and I can give you another 5 million Hong Kong dollars. Give another 5 million Hong Kong dollars. That's 65 million Hong Kong dollars. As Merlis said, as long as the TC Pharmaceuticals factory still exists, new beverages can still be developed. At most, Nanyang has a variety of tropical fruits and tropical plants. You can definitely spend some money to develop new drinks, which may be more popular with consumers than Red Bull. Please read it. Chapter 87 300 million baht to acquire ownership of Red Bull. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Su Shubiao was willing to package and sell Red Bull's researchers to him, and Merlis was willing to increase the price by another 5 million Hong Kong dollars. This made Su Shubiao a little excited. Su Shubiao still said, "Mr. Merlis, at the purchase price you offered, I am still unwilling to sell Red Bull." Merlis seemed to have guessed what Su Shubiao was thinking. "The maximum is 80 million Hong Kong dollars. If it is higher, we will not be able to continue the negotiation and will have to go back to Hong Kong directly." 0.80 million Hong Kong dollars. Compared with 65 million Hong Kong dollars, it is a full increase of 15 million Hong Kong dollars. He was indeed moved. "Mr. Merlis, let me think about it again." "No problem. Tomorrow is the last day. If you think carefully and are willing to sell the ownership of Red Bull to me, we will sign the acquisition contract immediately. If you are not willing, I will fly directly back to Hong Kong from Bangkok." Merlis left the tea place directly, returned to hotel. Early the next day, Merlis was in the hotel and called Yang Ming, who was far away in Xiangjiang. "Merith, it's me. Boss, after these 2 days of negotiation with Su Shubiao, I have raised the purchase price to 80 million Hong Kong dollars. He is already interested. Not only do I want to take ownership of Red Bull, but I am also preparing to take all the researchers from Red Bull with me. Go back to Xiangjiang. 0.80 million Hong Kong dollars. This is a full 20 million Hong Kong dollars less than Yang Ming's expected purchase price, which is enough to show that Merlis is still very good. Yang Ming knew that he was considering the future in which the Red Bull market would become popular all over the world. Merith considers it based on the current situation of Red Bull. In Merlis's view, 80 million Hong Kong dollars is too high. If Mr. Yang, the boss, gives him enough time, he can negotiate a lower purchase price for Su Shubiao. "Boss, I discovered a problem. Even if you acquire all the ownership of Red Bull, Su Shubiao knows the formula of Red Bull. He can completely copy it and turn it into other scalper or similar drinks." Copy. It's really possible. Historically, several beverage companies similar to Red Bull appeared in China, but their names were different. According to Merlis, in this case, there is no need for Yang Ming to acquire Red Bull. They can buy Red Bull's formula for less money, even, just get the formula of Red Bull. Yang Ming knows that the international trademark Red Bull is actually worth this money. "Merlis, as long as I acquire the ownership of Red Bull beverage, Su Shubiao will not dare to use it again. If he wants to copy it, I can definitely file a lawsuit with him." After thinking about it, Merlis thought so. Since the boss said that, he did not voice those concerns again. When Yang Ming and Merlis finished talking, on that day, Merlis came to the Red Bull Beverage Company for the first time to meet with Su Shubiao and others. Su Shubiao and his family thought about it for a night and felt that the purchase price offered by Merlis really made them excited. Based on the current exchange rates of Hong Kong dollars, US dollars, and Thai baht, now $1 US is equal to about 5.5 Hong Kong dollars, and 80 million Hong Kong dollars is about 14.54 million US dollars. According to Siam's official exchange rate, $1 US is equal to 20 baht. In other words, the current 80 million Hong Kong dollars is equivalent to 300 million baht. In 1978, that was a lot of money. The most important thing is that Merlis is now directly packing up all the researchers from Red Bull Beverage Company and taking them to Xiangjiang. It is equivalent to packing all these people to Merlis without spending a sum of money to send Su Shubiao away. "Mr. Su, what do you think?" "Mr. Merlis, I've thought about it carefully. The price is okay." Same day, on behalf of Yang Ming and Imperial Group, Merlis officially signed acquisition contracts with Su Shubiao's TC Pharmaceutical Factory and Red Bull Beverage Company. Imperial Group acquired the ownership of Red Bull Beverage Company for 80 Hong Kong dollars million. In other words, including the current Red Bull formula, Red Bull's factory in Siam, and Red Bull related names. All ownership belongs to the Imperial Group. At this time, Su Shubiao knew that the real purchaser of the Red Bull beverage company was not the Ha Par company of the Hu family in Xinjiang, it was a Xiangjiang empire group that was more powerful than he imagined. "Mr. Su, did Imperial Group just acquire Wharf and Hutchison Whampoa some time ago?" Su Shubiao asked in disbelief. "Yes. Mr. Yang, the chairman of Imperial Group, is my boss. Imperial Group. This huge Chinese-owned group seemed to appear out of nowhere and quickly swallowed up Wharf and even Hutchison Whampoa, the second largest foreign bank in Hong Kong. Many Chinese in Siam were very shocked when they saw relevant reports. If it is really the Imperial Group, then such a giant is really something that I cannot afford to offend. Mr. Su, regarding the acquisition, I think the money will be sent to you soon, or directly transferred to your account. If the researchers from Red Bull Beverage Research Company want to go to Xiangjiang for development, please inform them. Be prepared, there will be someone in Xiangjiang to receive them when the time comes. Now many people in Nanyang are thinking about the development of Xiangjiang. Under normal circumstances, many people go there by smuggling. It is still difficult to immigrate to Xiangjiang openly. Now that Imperial Group has acquired the Red Bull Beverage Company at a high price, together with the researchers, it means that these researchers will be able to immigrate to Xiangjiang through legitimate channels for development. That morning, Merlis visited the Red Bull Beverage Company with the Su family. Seeing the situation of Red Bull Beverage Company, Merlis felt a little regretful. He felt that spending 80 million Hong Kong dollars to acquire such a beverage company was really not worth it. When he drank a bottle of Red Bull, he found that it really had the function of refreshing the brain, and he felt that acquiring this beverage company really had a certain value. Now that the contract between the two parties has been signed, neither the Imperial Group nor Su Shubiao could regret it. That afternoon, Merlis took a direct flight from Bangkok Airport back to Hong Kong Kai Tak Airport. When he just got off the plane and came out of the airport, what Merlis didn't expect was that his boss Yang Ming actually sent his housekeeper Lin Dejong to pick him up. Mr. Merith, Mr. Yang asked me to pick you up. Steward Lin, thank you for your hard work. Lin Dejong felt that Mr. Yang must have attached great importance to this white man. Otherwise, how could he personally send him to pick up Merisi at the airport? Merisi took Yang Ming's Rolls-Royce to the Repulse Bay Mid-Levels Villa. The time has come to 21:30 in the evening. Merlis had eaten dinner on the plane, but he wasn't hungry. He was just a little tired from traveling back and forth. Merith, thank you for your hard work. When they saw Merris getting off the Rolls-Royce, Azu pushed Yang Ming over. Yang Ming and Merris said, Merris just saved him 20 million Hong Kong dollars. Boss, I should. The two of them went directly to the study room on the third floor. There, Merisi reported in detail to Yang Ming the acquisition of the Red Bull Beverage Company in Siam. Melisi, you did a good job. It was better than I imagined. Not only did you save me 20 million Hong Kong dollars, but you also packaged a group of researchers. I have to say that in this regard, Merris has thought more thoroughly. Merris still said, Boss, I drank Red Bull when I visited the Red Bull beverage factory and found that it tasted okay. However, I learned from the management there that Red Bull is actually still in a state of loss. Yes. Su Shubiao sold Red Bull Beverage Company to Imperial Group, and they made a lot of money. Please read it. Chapter 88 Remarks on the Launch. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dear book friends, what is supposed to come has come. Suddenly I received a notice from the editor that a new book was about to be put on the shelves, just tomorrow, Friday. For a moment, I felt a little uneasy. The first time I wrote a book at the starting point, first time on the shelves, came here ignorantly. I am very grateful to the book friends who have been following the book all the way and supporting me silently. Thanks to the book friends who voted silently. Thanks to the book friends who gave good suggestions. Thanks for silently recommending the edited Blu-ray for me. After 12 noon tomorrow, the editor will open the Backstage VIP chapter. At the time of introduction, there will be a big update on the shelves. Directly updated to 15 chapters, more than 30,000 words. There are manuscripts saved. On this basis, the first order exceeded 1,000. 5 more chapters added. The first order exceeded 2,000. 5 more chapters added. The first order exceeded 3,000. 5 more chapters added. By analogy, there is no limit. Desperately update. I hope the higher the better. I don't know exactly how much I have read. I dare not ask the editor. I just know that after updating a chapter, more than 20 minutes later, the app update ranking did not enter the top 100. It stands to reason that there are many book friends who are pursuing it. after it is put on the shelves. Under normal circumstances, there should be between 4 and 5 chapters per day. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Book friends, please remind me that there will be no updates at 0 o'clock tonight and 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. You don't have to stay up late to wait. 15 chapters will be uploaded at once after 12 o'clock tomorrow. Please subscribe again. Rolling on the floor, please subscribe. The first order data is really important, related to the life and death of the book and subsequent recommendations. Grateful. 2023.1.12. Available tomorrow at noon. Updated Chapter 15. Please subscribe. Chapter 89. Merlis serves as the General Manager of Empire Group. Ma Shimin. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Serves as General Manager of Wharf Group. Even though Merlis is an elite of this era, his vision still has certain limitations. If Yang Ming was not from the future, how would he know that an energy drink from Nanyang Siam would be popular all over the world? Merith, you did a great job acquiring the ownership of Red Bull this time. Boss, I should. Yang Ming looked at Merlis next to him, and he became even more happy. Do you know Ma Shimin? Ma Shimin. Merlis shook his head. There are many white people in Xiangjiang, maybe hundreds of thousands of white people, and he really doesn't know who Ma Shimin is. Historically, Ma Shimin's popularity only increased after he joined Changchun Industrial Group. Ma Shimin's original name is Simon Murray. He was originally a senior executive at Jardine. He was recommended by Miss Kayla. I met him the day before yesterday. Tomorrow, he will be officially announced as the General Manager of Wharf. Ma Shimin serves as General Manager of Wharf. This surprised Merlis. At first, Merlis thought that Yang Ming would let him serve as the General Manager of the Empire Group and also be responsible for the affairs of Wharf. Who would have expected that Ma Shimin would take the lead? I told you some time ago that you would be appointed as the General Manager of the Empire Group. Served as General Manager of Imperial Group. When Merlis heard this, he was still very happy. He felt that his boss took him more seriously. Thank you, boss, for your trust. On Friday, I met with Mr. Shen. Mr. Shen wanted Imperial Group to cooperate with Huifeng Bank, and the condition I proposed was to first get 20% of Huifeng Bank's shares. Not surprisingly, Mr. Shen was sure we'll agree. Merlis was even more surprised. Imperial Group actually wants to acquire 20% of Huifeng Bank's shares. What the hell is going on? Merlis knew that the Imperial Group was relatively mysterious, and he was not very clear about the source of funds. Now it seems that the mystery of the Imperial Group's funding source is completely beyond his imagination. You go back and rest tonight. Tomorrow, you will know what is going on. Yes, boss. That night, Merlis was arranged to stay in a guest room at the Repulse Bay Mid-Levels Villa. For Merlis, he had volunteered to join the Empire Group, and now he had gained the trust of his boss and directly served as the General Manager of the Empire Group. This was much better than before. What he didn't expect was that there were still many smart people in the world. For example, Ma Shimin, whom he had never met before, was actually recommended by Miss Kayla to join the Empire Group. He also won the favor of his boss and was directly appointed as the Executive Director of Wharf. Have a night's rest. Early the next day, when Yang Ming was served by Azu and Zhong Chuhong, he washed his face, changed his clothes, and then got down in a wheelchair from upstairs. First, he practiced walking in the garden. 6:40 m. Merlis and Yang Ming, who were already up, had breakfast together after being greeted by Yang Jirong and his wife. Finished breakfast, Merlis got into Yang Ming's Rolls-Royce and took the car with Yang Ming to the Federal Building. Chen Zhenhua drove to the Federal Building. At this time, many reporters had come to the Federal Building. Because some reporters suddenly received a call from the Imperial Group, saying that there would be a very important press conference today, which shocked those reporters. Could it be that the Imperial Group acquired another foreign bank? When Chen Zhenhua pushed Yang Ming, he, Merlis and others took the elevator to the Imperial Group. At this time, hundreds of reporters came from outside the Imperial Group. After Ma Shimin resigned from Jardine Matheson Company immediately after he returned, he told his wife Jennifer that he had joined the Imperial Group and would soon serve as the Executive Director of Wharf. which still made her excited and shocked. She knew that her husband's ability was relatively low-key in IHA, and he could only be regarded as an ordinary executive. Now he quietly switched jobs to the Imperial Group and directly served as the Wharf chief executive, with his wife Jennifer dressing him up. Ma Shimin wore a suit and trousers and drove to the Federal Building. When he first joined the Imperial Group, he was already invited in by Lin Shiji. When Yang Ming, Merlis and others appeared, the reporters kept taking pictures of them. Yang Ming came to the chairman's office. At this time, in addition to Lin Shiji, there were also Merlis and Ma Shimin in the office. This is Mr. Merlis. He was originally the CEO of Wharf Company in Singapore. He officially joined the Imperial Group last week. This is Mr. Ma Shimin. He was originally an executive of Jardine Matheson. He also officially joined the Imperial Group last week. Merlis and Ma Shimin looked at each other. The two of them were very happy on the surface. It's definitely different inside. Whether it was Ma Shimin or Merlis, they didn't expect that the boss would actually trust white people so much. At the press conference, I will officially announce your positions. Among them, Mr. Merlis will serve as the general manager of the Empire Group. His main job is to assist me and manage the affairs of the Empire Group. Mr. Ma Shimin will serve as the general manager of Wharf. General manager of an Imperial Group, one is the general manager of Wharf. Not only are the two of them ranked among the best in the Imperial Group, but they are also very different even in Xiangjiang. Look at the time. At this time, there is still half an hour before the press conference. Yang Ming asked Lin Shiji to notify other employees to meet with Ma Shimin, Merlis and others. After others come over, when I learned that the Imperial Group had its first general manager, I was not surprised except for the shock. Yang Ming didn't choose one of them to take charge. It was entirely because these people didn't have the ability. At this point, these people also know their own situation very well. Jason, Arnold, and Haley were all very happy when they saw that the two current executives were all white. As for Tang Shilian, the Chinese are a little worried. Will this Imperial Group become a white people's world? 9:00 Yang Ming was pushed by Lin Shiji to the conference room of the Imperial Group. More than 200 reporters came to the conference room. Just now, reporters asked each other to see if the Imperial Group had acquired any other big companies. However, no one knows. When Yang Ming appeared here, the reporters immediately wanted to gather around for an interview. After Chen Zhenhua and others separated the reporters, Yang Ming said, "Journalists, the news you want will be known soon. Now please return to your positions and stay quiet." It's quiet here in the conference room. Merlis and Ma Shimin stood on Yang Ming's side respectively. Lin Shiji and Tang Shilian stood behind Yang Ming. In fact, from the position where these people stand, their status in the Imperial Group can be seen. Dear journalist friends, this is Mr. Merlis. From now on, he will officially serve as the first general manager of Empire Group. The first general manager of Imperial Group. The reporter below was really surprised when he heard this. Before this, the position of general manager of the Imperial Group was indeed vacant. Unexpectedly, it was only filled now. When he arrived, he turned out to be a white man. This is Mr. Ma Shimin. From now on, he will officially serve as the general manager of Wharf. He will be fully responsible for taking over the work of Wharf and serve as a director of Wharf. General manager of Wharf? Isn't that Wharf's new taipan? The reporters were even more surprised when they heard this, and began to pick up their cameras and take pictures of Ma Shimin and Merlis. Chapter 1. Please subscribe. Chapter 90 Yang Ming's right-hand man. You are listening at novelfull.audio. There are many white executives in Xiangjiang: Hutchison Whampoa, CEO Wei Li, Vice President Li Caixin, Business Director Xia Boyan, Executive Director Peter Wei, etc. In addition, the main executives of Jardine Matheson, Swire Company, Huifeng Bank, Zada Bank, and even the Hong Kong Exchange, the Hong Kong Jockey Club, etc. are all white. However, white executives like Wei Li and Shen Yi are very well known in Xiangjiang and often reported to the press. The reporters are also relatively familiar with them. The two people in front of me, whether it is Merlis or Ma Shimin, many reporters have no impression of them. So why did Yang Ming, chairman of the Imperial Group, hire these two people to hold such important positions? How can they achieve such a position? Mr. Yang, why did you hire Mr. Merlis and Mr. Ma Shimin? I don't know which company they worked for before, and do they have such extraordinary management experience. As for Ma Shimin, he stayed at Jardine Matheson for 12 years. His position in Jardine Matheson was not high. For an ordinary executive like him, Jardine Land has not only 1,000 but also a few hundred people. As for Merlis, he previously served as the executive president of Huifeng Company in Singapore. This Huifeng Company is still relatively well known in Nanyang. Yang Ming guessed it by looking at the reporter's questions and expressions. They will be rare management talents in the future, and they will also be my right-hand man. The previous work experience of the two is not important to me and the Imperial Group. What is important is that their current position makes me feel as long as it's good. Mr. Yang's right-hand man. The reporters were even more surprised when they heard this. When Ma Shimin and Merlis heard this, they were a little moved indescribably. Next, I will hand over the press conference time to Mr. Merlis and Mr. Ma Shimin, but you only have half an hour for the interview. Yang Ming did not stay any longer. When Lin Shoji pushed him to leave, those reporters also wanted to chase Yang Ming for an interview. Yang Ming is still relatively low-key and mysterious in Xiangjiang, except for the initial acquisition of Wharf and Hutchison Whampoa. It rarely appears in public newspapers. Yang Ming returned to his chairman's office, half an hour later. Ma Shimin and Merlis accepted the reporters' answers respectively. He who deserves an answer will answer it. If they are unwilling to answer, they will never answer. Now some reporters dispersed and left, immediately reported to the press to rush for the report, and prepared to publish this important news in the afternoon evening newspaper. For the citizens of Xiangjiang, news related to the Imperial Group is still very popular, and the sales of newspapers and periodicals are naturally very high. There are some reporters who are still unwilling to leave and want to get more valuable news. They were all invited out by Lin Shoji of the Imperial Group. Merlis and Ma Shimin came to Yang Ming's chairman's office. Lin Shoji, first take Merlis to learn about our major departments in the company. Yes, boss. The Imperial Group is indeed mysterious to Merlis. The most mysterious thing is where the capital of the Imperial Group comes from. It cannot appear out of thin air. He had secretly investigated before, but he did not find out. Let Lin Shoji take him to see it, and he should know the truth behind it. When Lin Shoji looked at Merlis, she said, "General Manager, I'll take you to have a look." Merlis and Lin Shoji went out. Now only Yang Ming and Ma Shimin are left in the chairman's office. Ma Shimin, now that you are the general manager of Wharf, I will hand over the full power of Wharf to you. What are your plans? Boss, you speak first. Wharf is now Yang Ming's holding company, and the holding has reached more than 60%, but some of it is still owned by other shareholders and investors. Yang Ming knew that after Li Jiaqing acquired Hutchison Whampoa, he obtained the largest income from Hutchison Whampoa. Part of it is Hutchison Whampoa's share dividends, which are worth several billion a year. In the 1980s, dividends of several billion a year were very scary, which brought a huge flow of capital to Changchun Industrial Group. Like Hutchison Whampoa's share dividends, only major shareholders like Li Jiaqing receive dividends, and ordinary investors don't get any dividends at all. This is also the reason why there was such a big conflict between Li Caixin's white executives and Li Jiaqing. According to the thinking of white executives such as Li Caixin, Hutchison Whampoa cannot distribute dividends, but use them to expand investment and expand the scale of Hutchison Whampoa. The purpose of Li Jiaqing's investment in Hutchison Whampoa was to make money to strengthen himself, not to strengthen other Xiangjiang investors or stock investors. In addition, Hutchison Whampoa has a huge land bank. Li Jiaqing also arranged for Merlis and Huijing to take over Hutchison Whampoa's real estate business, and seize a large amount of Hutchison Whampoa's land storage for development together with Changchun Industrial Group. Of course, the final profit will be made by Changchun Industrial Group, and the profits gradually fell into Li Jiaqing's pocket. In addition to these, many of Hutchison Whampoa's very valuable subsidiaries have basically been privatized and turned into companies of Li Jiaqing or Changchun Industrial Group. For example, some subsidiaries of Hutchison Whampoa were directly sold to subsidiaries of Li Jiaqing or Changchun Industrial Group at a low price. It is precisely because of this that Changchun Industrial Group and Li Jiaqing were raised, and Hutchison Whampoa was slowly split up more and more. After Bao Yugang acquired Wharf, Wheelock and other foreign banks, he basically followed this method. Yang Ming thinks this is normal. It is impossible for him to really enrich Wharf or Hutchison Whampoa and share the dividends with other investors. How is this possible? First, privatize Wharf's valuable companies. Secondly, the Wharf's reserve land will either not be moved, or if it is moved, it can only be used as rental properties. The points mentioned by Yang Ming are all related to Wharf. The most valuable thing in Wharf is of course Harbor City. Historically, this harbor city has paid tens of billions or more in rent to the Bao family every year. In addition, there are also those ports, terminals, etc. These are all very valuable and can be privatized, then they will naturally become Yang Ming's own private industry. By then, Wharf may be nothing more than a name and an empty shell. Ma Shimin and Yang Ming had already written it down after discussing it. Ma Shimin, then you go to Wharf building. Now that Yang Ming has finished explaining to him, he can hand over the power of Wharf to Ma Shimin. As for the original management of Wharf that were arrogant or dissatisfied with the Empire Group, they would gradually obey Ma Shimin's management after Ma Shimin became the general manager of Wharf. Yang Ming believes that Ma Shimin has this ability. At that time, Wharf Bank truly became a foreign bank belonging to Yang Ming and the Imperial Group. Chapter 2. Please subscribe.